Exercise 14. Let's start. As we enter the 9th plan, the country is poised at the threshold of a new era in economic development. It is therefore necessary that we approach the 9th plan without any hang-up and with utmost frankness. What is the ultimate goals of plans and programs development, whose development, and what exactly do we mean by development? Is our concept of development confined to economic parameters only, or do we have larger goals to achieve when we talk about development? Has the process of development carried on so far kept the human beings at the center, or have we lost track in the maze of figures and percentages sphere? As planning is a means for achieving economic development, it is naturally oriented towards securing definite economic goals in a country like ours, with its rich culture, customs and traditions. Development process separated from the essence of these factors may prove to be misfit. The Indian village has stood as a microcosm of the Indian traditions from time immemorial, and it is this phenomenon that has bound the country together despite many a foreign invasion of the past. What we find today, however, is fast deterioration of the villages, which have become victim of subsidy syndrome. The villages are deprived of the basic services despite all the funds allocated for their betterment during the last plans. In measuring the plan performance in terms of increase of gross development produce, have we lost sight of the human development indicators? The villages had a participatory system of setting the disputes, and what we have developed today is a very costly system of litigations which practically ruin litigants. The villages are languishing today, pushed to decay by the massive urbanization taking place in the country. The urbanization in turn brings in its wake stresses and strains which dilute the material quality of life which they acquire in the cities, besides a host of other negative factors like crimes, pollution, etc. haunt the urbanities. It is time we draw up a comprehensive strategy to prevent the unplanned urbanization taking place today. Should we not seriously deliberate as to what we mean by the development? No wonder we hear or read the criticism often that every new plan document is a copy of the earlier one. I feel that a common man, a human being, is forgotten, and even discussion about plan at such a highest level has slipped into a kind of routine. Targets are fixed in terms of figures and percentages. I think time has come to rethink and redefine our goal and plan strategies after a thorough reappraisal and revision of the practices that we have followed in the past, admitting our mistakes will be the starting point for setting a new direction and building a refreshingly new development agenda. Para. It is not too late, even after almost 50 years of independence, to look back and review what was Indian culture, customs, and traditions. Customs, culture, and traditions that have bound India together in spite of onslaughts of various aggressions and foreign rule or inherited systems we have practiced in post-independence India. What has happened to our villages? Today's villages are still superstitious and poverty-ridden and are engrossed in rivalry and groupisms bred by electoral politics. This was not the character of original Indian village. It was a self-reliant unit with a clean identity. There was no police, no court, no block development officer, no forest officer in and around those villages. There were no railways, roads, airports, or market yards in and around those villages, and yet everyone in that village was a proud human being. They had their own interdependent activities and services wherein everyone, irrespective of caste, creed, and religion, was involved. That villager used to feel insulted when any kind of charity, alms, or aid was offered to him or her. He or she considered it as a form of begging if he or she had to get anything for which he or she did not work hard. That was our culture. What is the scenario today? There is deliberately fostered and ingrained subsidy culture all round, whether for bullock, plough, seed, fertilizer, water, housing, employment. The people do not seem to live on their own without the government subsidy. There are proliferating subsidy schemes vying with each other from center and states, each in the name of upliftment of the poor. Para. Time has come to ask a question: have we made Indians self-sufficient or crippled them, who in turn are habituated now to depend on subsidies? Para. I read in the approach paper that in spite of staggeringly massive aid plans, living standards of the poor have not improved, and that we have failed to involve the people at large, particularly the poor, to participate in the planning. We do not need to read approach paper to know what the ground realities are. Primary education, primary health care, safe drinking water, adequate nutrition have become the routine budget heads for allocating more and more funds. Stop. Thank you.